Welcome to Legacy Cast, your source for hearing from top influencers, industry experts, and successful business owners who are telling their unique story about life, values, goals, business strategies, and the various causes they are so passionate about. Future generations will come to be impacted by what is happening today, whether positive or negative, and our mission is to focus on what is going to affect change for the better. Hosted each weekday by James Snow, a former U.S. Army combat medic, now founder and principal advisor of James Advisors Group, a full-service financial planning firm in North Texas. This is Legacy Cast. Welcome, Legacy Cast listeners. This is your host, James Snow. Welcome you to the program today. And I have with me this afternoon a friend of mine, Chris Flowers, a fellow veteran person that helps other people to create their legacies. And we'll get into the details as far as how he's able to do that from his vantage point. But Chris, welcome to the program today. Thanks for coming in.
Oh yeah, thanks so much, Jim. I really appreciate a lot, giving me this opportunity to come on and talk to your listeners.
Sure. And like I enjoy telling people, when they come on the program, what we do here with Legacy Cast is we're talking about people telling their story their way, and really we're put on this earth to kind of take those gifts and talents that we have and to make the world better. And so in short, our legacy is how we have done that. And so that certainly is something that I'm very passionate about, and the people that come on the program, they enjoy being able to talk about, their take on that. So when you're hearing about a legacy, Chris, what's the first thing that pops in your mind when that comes up?
What you're leaving for the next generation. Mm-hmm. So like the legacy of what Vexford is what I pass on to my children and what they get to do with it from there.
Sure. So do you feel that it's an important conversation that people have with themselves to actively consider, really what they're doing and make deliberate steps from the day-to-day that is going to play into that legacy?
I really think so. I think you have to, of course, being an entrepreneur is not an easy thing. And, it's chess, it's not checkers. You got to be thinking 3 moves ahead. You should already have the exit plan engaged from the day you start the business, because you're not going to work till you're 105 years old. So you want to have at least that kind of vision in front of you. What is this going to be, at the end game? So I think it should be part of your day-to-day, thing too, because a lot of times, like I said, that entrepreneurs they get caught up in the day-to-day. They don't think of the grand plan or the long-term, right? But sure. Of course, you have to deal with the day-to-day, but you have to think in those places. You have to think those 3 moves ahead, like when you're playing chess. You want to control the middle of the board. So you got to have that strategy already thought out and in place and work towards that every single day. And with the way the corporate environment's going, everything's so PC and everything's so, garbage, do more work, you pay less, do more work, you pay less. Being an entrepreneur, I think, is the only way to go, just to be your own boss, and then you get to set the tone for what your company wants. Because I know when people come and they're working for Vets for Biz, this is not corporate America. This is, it's a veteran-owned, veteran-employed company, and we do things as veterans. We're squared away. Yeah, we're, hey, and it's not PC. Sometimes language might get a little salty, whatever. But hey, we handle things. We handle business, but we knock down our target, and we take care of it.
Yeah, totally.
I think it's the only way to go now, I think.
Yeah, it's total transparency, when we handle it that way. And that's kind of what makes us cut from a different cloth. I think that, we really do better when we conduct business in that manner, that we're, just put everything right on the table. What you see is what you get. And
that's it.
It works best.
Yep, there's no gray area. It's just, okay, here's the mission. Here's how we're gonna, here's how we do it. I mean, people can implement different styles and things like that. Of course, bring their gifts to it. But at the same time, okay, here's the target. We got to knock this target down. So let's do it.
Yep. Yeah, just see the hill, take the hill kind of mentality. Yep.
Exactly.
So how do your views on legacy and then your own business plans affect what you're doing in business?
Well, I also have a business lending background as well, so I understand a lot of things from the financial side, um, as well as like the marketing side as well. So when I think legacy, I think of okay, I have a lot of times people depend on, let's say, their CPA. If their CPAs are great, of course I have one,
Mhm.
but you have to tell the CPA what your goals are. And the big thing I would say is to the listeners, remember that your CPA works for you. You don't work for your CPA. He'll advise you on, okay, well, he's going to minimize your taxes, and that's great. And I would abolish the rest tomorrow if I could, but that this reality is not there. So, but when you want to borrow money, or when you want to buy a building, or you want to do something like that, you have to show you're making money. And I know CPAs are great about cutting down the taxes, but also when you're doing all this depreciation, and you're showing loss and things like that, you're devaluing your company. So later on down the road, when you want to actually sell that company, it's not worth nearly as much as you think it's going to be worth. So that's why you have to have that plan in place. If I want to sell my company for X amount of dollars, or if I want to hand it to my children, it's got to be worth something. If I depreciate it all out and write everything off and everything like that, it's going to be worth zero. So you have to have those plans in place prior to, and you have to operate towards that goal in mind. Are you going to pay more taxes? Yes, you are, but it meets the goal.
Sure. Yeah. Well said. So as a CEO and an entrepreneur yourself, how would you say that maybe a couple things are there a couple things that maybe keep you up at night still with your business, or do you pretty much kind of riding the wave, so to speak?
Oh no, every day, every day is a new challenge. Every day, I try to set my goals, try to hit those goals. I don't try to ride the wave, because I said you have to. If, obviously you plan to fail, or then you fail to plan. Or how does it go? I apologize. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you have to have a plan in place prior to, whether it's a daily goal, monthly goal. So try to knock those targets down. Yeah, there's no riding the wave, because this wave is going to be, a typhoon if you try to just go
Yeah.
with it. So you have to make sure that you're dictating the flow of the flow. Every day, and say, okay, here's what we're going to do today. And like I said, right now, I'm still growing. So I've been in business for about a year now, so still growing, still making it happen. Yeah, I'm still doing the day to day, but now I'm hiring a few employees, so I get to delegate a couple things. That way, okay, but it's very clear. The mission's clear. Here's what we need to do. Okay, make this happen. I'm like Steve Jobs. I love that saying that he says, you don't hire smart people to tell them what to do. You hire smart people, they tell you what to do. So I hire smart people. I give them the mission. They go. Yeah, as long as they're knocking the target down, I'm good.
Excellent. Excellent. So do you believe it's important that people create, as you're kind of describing what you do you believe it's important that they create a business plan and a financial plan, both on a personal and business level, for themselves, to kind of have that roadmap, so to speak?
Oh, 100%. Now, like I say, now you and I are both, prior military, so we don't go anywhere without an op order, right?
Right.
So a business plan, to all the veterans that are out there, a business plan, don't let it intimidate you. It's an op order. That's all it is. Okay. So you just have to obviously, translate into more civilian type terms, but you're not going anywhere without an op order. Okay. So, hey, like I said, if you don't have that op order, you don't know. I mean, we're just going to wander around in the box all day, or we're going to go actually, knock some targets down. So you got to know, what the targets are. You got to know where the troop moves are. You got to know where you're going. You got to know what your weather conditions are, all those different things. A business plan and running a business is no different. You have to understand who your competition is. You have to understand what your challenges are. Do what's called your SWOT analysis, your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities.
Sure.
And what was the last one? What's the T? Threat assessment. So do your threat assessment. So, and you have to know these things going into it, and this that way you can, you could be ready and be prepared when those things happen. You're not like caught out of the blue, and you're still going to get sucker punched every once in a while, but then you improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can't course correct if you don't know where the course is, So yeah, I
Exactly.
certainly agree.
Yeah.
You need to at least have a roadmap, and that lets you know what's ahead and where the pitfalls are going to be.
Right. Right. And then, like I said, and of course, like I said, just, with every op order, okay, so, we have an op order, but once the bullets start coming, going down range, those things are going to change. You're going to have to flip some things. You're going to have to pivot. You have to move around. Well, business is no different. You know what I mean? So, I mean,
Sure.
you're going to want to, maybe you don't land that particular contractor, or maybe your cost of that particular product went up a little bit. Okay, so you have to adjust. You have to make sure that your profit margins are in place that, can absorb those kind of costs. Or what are you going to do? Are you going to, increase your prices, or, do whatever? So you make those adjustments, as you go. But like I said, but if you know your business well enough, where you can make those pivots, you know where you can make those moves, or sometimes you're going to say, hey, you know what, we're not able to pursue that particular thing at the moment right now. It's not effective for the long term.
Yeah. Yeah. Spot on. So what do you think maybe some of the most common reasons are that new business people are failing or giving up, in the early stages of their business?
It takes tenacity. You got to be just gritty, nasty, get after it every single day. It is not for the weak of heart. I mean, but like I said, but we're military, so we get it. Okay, nobody's dying today. Nobody's shooting at us. So there's nothing we can't do in the business world. Okay, because we've already been there, done that. You know what I mean? So as far as going out and making a couple of calls or doing whatever, like nobody's shooting at us. You know what I mean? So what can't we do? So that's what, like you said, we're cut from a different cloth. Okay, we're coming at it from a completely different angle. Once we have those goals, and once we set those goals, really the only thing that's going to stop us is us. Okay. Part of, I think, what maybe stops some newer businesses is they don't understand the resources that are available to them. Okay, as far as different planning models, or different resources, maybe even resources like you and I, to where we can help them, in the planning stages, things like that, or help them think of the long-term vision, or help them in the marketing side, or things like that. How okay, they got an idea about how they're gonna let the world know they're out there. What are they gonna do? Just things like that. And there's also other great resources from the planning aspect, like things like SBTC and things like that. Just there's a lot of resources that they aren't aware of, because hey, like I said, this is going to be a street fight. It's going to be day to day, but at the same time, you want to be as efficient as possible. Like I said, you can, work a lot out of some more efficient. And of course, you're able to engage a lot more targets.
Yeah, you brought up resources, which kind of leads us into the next area that I was going to ask. What are some of the resources and roadblocks? We'll start with roadblocks first. Things that you discovered, in your time in business that you would warn somebody to look out for, and then resources that they should tap into to have an easier time.
I think roadblocks, like I said, it's going to be yourself. I think that's number one. It's going to be, if it's not going to be 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, especially when you're first starting out. It's going to be 14, 20-hour days, 6-7 days a week,
Sure.
for a while. Until it actually, you just can't get that. It's just like when you're in boot camp, man. Just don't quit. Just don't quit. Keep pushing. Okay. A lot of things too. I think, like I said, especially when you're first starting out in business, like I said, quitting your job, being like Cortez and burning the ships and not looking back. If you don't have a job, having some kind of income in where you can, pay your mortgage, feed your kids until the business gets up and running, and then, okay, yeah, this thing's going to take off. I mean, I have to, unless you have, like I said, unless you are very liquid, you have a really nice nest egg savings account that's going to last you a couple of years until this thing really gets going. Like I said, you got to have that some type of income in place, unless your spouse makes really good money, where she can cover or he or she can cover the the monthly bills and things like that. And this is more of a side piece, not like that you don't have to depend on it to feed your kids. But some people I see, they cash out their 401ks, they max out their credit cards, they take out a home equity loan, then they quit their job, so their income goes away, and they have there's nothing, there's no safety net, there's no fallback.
Yeah.
So I think those are some of the biggest things that I see out there that a lot of people do. They're all for it. They're super positive. Hey, this is going to work, so on, so on. But again, they're not efficiently planning for the what if and the maybes